So today was gonna be a showcase, but we gotta talk about Eminence in the Shadow Part 2. My god, I did not expect Eminence in the Shadow to be the crossover to bring some diversity into the game. If you saw Forte's showcase, you know what I'm talking about. We got Alpha and Delta. These are the next two units coming out with Eminence in the Shadow, and the final two units actually coming out, and their kits are kind of crazy. I really wasn't expecting this. I kind of thought these guys were going to be just okay, but they're pretty freaking strong. Like, for example, Alpha. Alpha is a light spirit. Yes, you heard me right. That is a spirit unit on the team finally. Skills able to increase your own arc gauge by 40 if you're above 80% HP. The art's just reducing light res, very basic. The true art is getting 6 arts per second to everyone and crit res 100% down. Literally, it's just Sunraku's true art. And then the super art is buffing up everybody's physical damage by 100%. And then if used while the effect of your own super art is active, you will increase your physical damage by an additional 100%. Now, one thing it doesn't say here is that if the physical damage buff will be refreshed whenever you use it. I'm assuming it will because that's how most buffs work, but if it doesn't and it just adds on to it, that's going to be kind of weird. Also, she has when near death, she heals all allies HP by 100%. Additionally, for 10 seconds, you increase all allies damage res by 50%. She has 50% more crit damage and more heal equipped CT speeds too. Now, this is actually insanely good for a multitude of units, not just, you know, mono light. You can use her on mono light if you want to, and that team's going to work fantastically. But this character is going to be insane with pretty much any physical sustain attacker. She's just gonna do work with it. Now, one thing that is a little bit weird about this, and I'm not completely sold on her being a light unit, is the fact that she's having to contend with one of the strongest units in the game, and this character will be coming out to global very soon, and that is Summer Chloe. Summer Chloe has the exact same arch-gen type as Alpha, and they're going to be picking Summer Chloe 9 times out, especially if you're using mostly a human team, or if you're on light, you're probably going to want to be going with Summer Chloe instead. But hey, you know, there may be a situation where you prefer using Alpha because, as mentioned before, she is a spirit, and you may need that if you're going up against certain bosses and stuff like that, just to deal extra damage to them. Either way, Alpha, very solid unit, very strong. No types of super crit or anything in the kit, which does kind of suck for her damage, but overall pretty solid stuff here. The main issue I really have is no 5-star support slot. You know, that kind of sucks, but it's also not the end of the world. There's a lot of stuff that we could use on her to just get her into her arch gen instantaneously. She's not really going to struggle with arts, so yeah, we're going to be vibing. She also has a true weapon, which, you know, might as well talk about this. Her true weapon's able to buff up her own crit damage by 100%. Her passive is that it's able to increase her own attack by 20% and give her arc gauge 100 up at the start of the quest. This is probably gonna be one of the best in slot items for her, just to kind of give her a jump start, since she doesn't have any type of support item or anything, so having this would be fantastic. And that's all I want to say about Alpha. Overall, a very solid character, very strong character, gonna be very good in a lot of situations, especially on physical damage team, even on mono light she has a place. So yeah, very good stuff all around here with Alpha. Now let's talk about Delta. Delta is also another unique race. She is going to be a fire beast unit. As you see here, she's mainly an attacker based on her slots, and yeah, that's really what it is. She's able to heal ally with the lowest HP by 20%. It's kind of a little bit, you know, weird considering the rest of her kit is actually like really focused on DPS. You're able to increase your own skill CT speed by 100% and equipped CT speed by 30%. Her true art's able to buff up her own attack, and she's also able to apply fire res down the enemy by 50%, and this is also a stackable debuff. The super art, able to ignore enemies' defense by 100%. If you use it when you're above 50% HP, you will increase your own damage by 150%. If you use it when you're not afflicted by a status element, you will also increase your damage by 150%. So there's not being a status element and be above 50% HP, and you get a 300% damage buff. It doesn't sound too bad. One thing that I want you guys to focus on a lot though here is this passive. Increase your own arts based on your current HP. The higher your HP, the more arch gen you get, and you get a maximum of 10 arts per second on this bad boy. You're also able to increase your own damage by 2% times your own attack. So the more attack you have on her, the more deeps. And finally, she increases all fire allies BE output by 20%, which may not sound like a lot, but this could definitely help out in very specific situations. You're not going to notice it too much, but it's just going to be a nice little bonus to have. And of course, you have her true weapon. It's able to buff up her own damage by 50% and fire damage by 70%. And then if it's equipped by Delta, you increase your own attack by 40% and arts by 1. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this true weapon is literally True Owen, but just for fire units. Yeah, it is. It actually is. It's exactly True Owen, but just for fire units. really good stuff here. Sunraku just got majorly buffed, and any other fire attacker in the game that has a physical slot will definitely want to use True Delta Suit. But Delta is a little bit different in terms of like how she is and what you could really do with her. I think that she's still going to be an insane unit. She's going to have so much damage on that super art, and really the only thing that I kind of don't like about the kit is mainly the true art. I wish the true art was maybe a little bit different. Second attack isn't too crazy, even though it does directly correlate to more damage for her, but stacking attack is never really like a good thing. It has a lot of diminishing returns on it. The fire is down though, extremely strong. You can use this alongside like regular Chloe, and when I'm having 150% fire res down the enemy instantly. So there's definitely a lot of ways that you could use Delta, and I think she's going to be overall pretty freaking solid as just an attacker, a damage dealer, and I guess to an extent somewhat of being like a very good flex option if you need that for like mono fire or whatever team you're using, because she does have that heal on the skill, so she can kind of function as a little bit of a pseudo healer on top of your regular healer if you actually, you know, need to do that. But Delta is definitely the weaker of the two. I wish this stuff was already out on global, even though we are about to get Fate, because I already want to do some testing and like try out these characters in different team comps and everything. I think it'd be really fun. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That we are closing the book on Eminence in the Shadow, because the crossover is literally pretty much already over on JP. These are the last 2 units to release. Then we'll have to see what is coming next for Grand Summoners JP and also Grand Summoners Global. I'm assuming we'll be getting this crossover within the next like few months. Of course, we still got to get through Fate and everything, but yeah, we shouldn't have to wait too long for this stuff if you guys are a fan of it. Either way though, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all for hanging out. It's been your boy P. If you enjoyed this video, have to check out either one of the other videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.